everybody. My button.
Yo ho, what's up, everybody? GM. Hope you're doing well. It's 10 a.m. here on the East Coast. My name is Jay Chains. This is Web3 Breakfast. We are here with the club. We're going to have a good show today. I know we are. It's not all doom and gloom. There's learning lessons from everything, and we're going to take that even from my most recent hack. I got to open my hat a little bit. We got it on. Not too many things. Squeezing my brain. There we go. Ooh, nice and loose. Appreciate you guys smashing the like button. If you are watching the live stream as you are tuning in, make sure if you're watching on X, you hit the heart. Tag some friends, repost the video out. If you are watching over on the YouTubes, that was the X people. That was the X for the X people. If you are watching on the YouTubes, make sure that you smash that like button. And if you decide that you want to communicate with the crew today, you want to be up on stage in the space, don't be shy. Raise your hand. Let's go, one and all, everybody. So we're going to get into all of this in just a little bit here. Yes. So what is today? Today is Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Hopefully y'all are going to have some amazing dinner on a tortilla today. Crunchy or soft shell, it does not matter. Can't hear on the space. Can you hear me now? Twitter is such a piece of shit. Literally. Elon Musk, you are the worst fucking engineer. I'm going to try to disconnect and reconnect. It showed me that it was working and I heard you guys. That's wild. All right, we're going to try again. All right, there we go. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I see the microphone thing is moving. So, man, that's pretty fucking annoying. But we are here. Welcome, GM. For the people who couldn't hear me in the space, now hopefully you can. We are good to go. All right, Doc. I see my guy, Dr. L. Don, in there. Let me bring you up as a speaker. Come on up. Anybody that wants to come up and chat today, please feel free. Come on up to the stage. Raise your hand. We are talking Crypto Security 101. I did recently get hacked. It ended up being a little bit worse than I thought it was going to be. Unfortunately, it is what it is. They're learning lessons. We can listen. I've got a tattoo that says "always half full." I'm an eternal optimist. I have been and always will be. And so what we do is we find ways to make a shitty situation either a learning lesson. Like the takeaway's got to be a net positive. Mike, I'll bring you up as a co-host. So with that being said, here, look, I get the opportunity. I've got a morning show. Sometimes we get a really big crowd. Sometimes I get a really good replay on the show. And so at the end of the day, if my story resonates with somebody, because trust me, I put out a post last night. I had a couple people reach back out to me and said that they've been hacked recently. So I intimately know like close people to me, about 4 people that have been hacked within the last month or so. Maybe a little bit longer than that. And so they're making their way around. And we have said before on the show, guys, you gotta think the scammers come out in full force. This particular attack that I got was kind of like right up my alley. I was asked to be on a podcast. We went back and forth for a few weeks. This wasn't like something that happened overnight. We went back and forth for a few weeks. I recorded the full fucking podcast before all this went down, but there were some problems leading up to it, and we'll go through all of that in a second here. I just want to remind you guys, this is Web3 Breakfast. This is the club. We're going to be talking about Operational Security 101 today, and I feel like even though I've been in the space for many years, I made a mistake. I made some mistakes by allowing access to basically my computer without realizing it, because I was using a platform that I had never used before, Microsoft Teams, and I had to install it. And it just so happens the invite came with an install link because the web version didn't quite have the right audio quality. So things to prepare for as you move forward through this space. Maybe your platform's starting to grow, or maybe you're just new and you understand that there are scams and all that kind of stuff. So I want to go through this stuff today. If you've got a scam or a hack story, I think that it'd be, good if you feel comfortable speaking about it. I definitely would appreciate it. This is how all of us can learn to be safer and to control our crypto in a different way. I unfortunately had to move a lot of it out of cold storage because that's what I've been surviving off of because of just how things have been going, right? And so I had some vulnerabilities. I let my operational security down, and we'll go through that in just a little bit here. But before we do, I see a couple of friends popping up to the stage, so I want to make sure that we say good morning, see how everybody's doing. Mike, the Modern Canadian, my co-host, my brother. What is up, my dude?
Yo, GM. It's crazy. I had a similar story where I was invited to a podcast and they wanted to use, again, Microsoft Teams. And I told them, like, I've never used that before. So let's do Google Meets. So they're like, okay, let's go on Google Meets. And he's like, oh, you know what, my buddy, he's going to be on the call too. And he's from Korea. I'm like, okay. So already I'm like, red flag. Because I've heard of I instantly thought of the whole the whole hack that the Koreans just did.
The Lazarus group. Like, you should have been like, now really quick, is your friend from South Korea or North Korea?
Yeah, right. So then I was like, he's like, oh, he can't connect. I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel comfortable using anything else. I want to use this or Discord. He said, okay, let me get back to you. So I'm sitting there with my wife. I'm like, I don't know, man. Something feels off. That gut feeling you get. So I was just like, I said, thank you, but no thank you. We're going to have to pass on this opportunity. And, I could have been the victim of the same thing. As soon as you told me the story, I'm like, holy shit, I almost had the same thing happen to me.
Yeah. And I'll go through it, the details, the details of what I did, because again, instead of making just a video that, whatever, I feel like it's better that we have this conversation. So I'm going to just tell the whole story today, how it all went down. And then, we'll chop it up and put the stuff out as we need to from there. But Carrie, I see you got your hand up. What's up, my brother?
Just real quick, man. I almost got nailed by the exact same fucking scam too. It was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Somebody was reaching out to the Red Planet people, and they were going to do a AMA with these guys, but they're Russian by and so they weren't really comfortable speaking, and so they asked me to come on and speak, and I was like, oh sure, yeah, I'll do that. Let me just do my due diligence on these guys first, though. So I did the LinkedIn page, and I went there, and everything seemed to pan out. This woman appeared to be who she said she was, and she was just like a journalist, basically, for crypto people, and she had some ties. Then she said she had some ties to Raoul Paul, and that was bing, ding, 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 ding. I was either I've made it now at 3,000 followers, or this is the biggest scam in the fucking world. And then and this went on, like you said, not for days, for about 2 weeks. This went on for. And my friends were just getting ready to do their show, and I was talking to this lady, and I'm like, so how's this going to work? And she was like, she didn't even use Microsoft Teams. They had a whole different application that they were going to use. And I was like, I don't know about this. I just had that feeling in the gut, and I didn't have anyone to bounce the idea off of, right? I don't have a wife to be like, dear, do you think this is a bad idea? I was just like, And then I actually went to install the software, and I have firewalls, and my security is pretty extreme because I got drained a couple years ago. So basically, alarms bells started going off on my computer. I immediately just flushed the PC. I just formatted the hard drive and never looked back. And within 2 days, that woman's profile was gone off of Twitter. And you know what I'm saying? I was like, holy shit, I almost lost all my money. They were wanting to get onto my computer where I had my wallets, set up onto my laptop, and then they were probably likely going to try to do a share screen thing or something like that. And you know what I mean? I could just feel it building until that moment when they were like, okay, now you got to install this new app. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll just, and then as soon as my computer was gave me the slightest hint that this might be malware, I was like, I just fucking dropped everything and formatted my hard disk. And that's the way. If somebody's on you like that, this is probably the most sophisticated ad or scams that I've come across ever.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you know,
it's crazy because
what happened to the days of the good old honeypot? You know what I mean? Where they were just like trying to get you to like them. Right now they're like, oh, we want to do an interview with you. We think you know, like, and they're like getting right into your like remote access to your computer, which is like fucked up. And then, so yeah, man, my condolences. I'm so sorry.
Appreciate you.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. My head is spinning, my heart pounding. Like I'm sure I'm feeling some of the experiences physically that you felt yesterday or still are going through. Because
you know, as much as
it almost happened to me, man.
You know,
like, it almost happened to me.
I appreciate you, man. You guys have heard me. Like, you know, I've had, you know, some leverage trade days where I've actually lost more money doing that, and you guys know that story with that. And so, listen. At the end of the day, it absolutely sucks, but it's not final. It's not fatal. You guys saw my post. I will fucking make this back. I will get this. I will get back to where I was, or even better than what I was, because that's now I've got some more fuel in the fire. You know, the tank is I'm a little bit hungrier at this moment because of what just happened. So I've always been really good, you know, back up against the wall. It's been a good thing for me. And so now my back's just a little bit farther up against the wall, a little bit more pressure. And usually you do your best kind of work there. So I appreciate you, Carrie. I appreciate you telling the story and how that worked and how it really, you know, the learning lesson that you got from it. And now, you know, your OpSec is a little bit better. Dr. L. Don, my guy. I know you had your hand up and then we'll swing it on over to Tyler. What's up, brother?
GM, brother, long time no talk. Dude, I just want to say I'm so happy to hear that you're being optimistic, but most importantly that you're creating a space to help teach people, because we're about to enter a time in the market where I believe people are going to make some really crazy amounts of money, you know, and the hackers, the scammers, they are going to come out like at 100 miles an hour. They're going to go balls to the wall, trying to get everyone, man. And now is the time to really buckle up on your security. So I'm really happy that you're going to share your story with the world, because this is what we need. This is what crypto needs: is transparency, is education. That is how we're going to continue to onboard people onto the space, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about onboarding and education. It's just like a business. How do you get people into your business? You have to educate them. You have to communicate to them. And so this is key, man. So I just want to thank you for doing that, because it's up to us to educate, if you want to call them the normies or whatever, you know, the people that are going to come onto this space. And, you know, ever since I've met you, man, you're a solid dude. I'm really happy to, you know, have gotten to know you, because you're doing good, man. You're doing good, and just keep it up. You know, I love the optimism, and yeah, just don't forget your 2 FAs, and I'm sure you're going to cover all those things, man. But
absolutely,
keep it up.
You know, absolutely, man. I appreciate that. You know, it's good, like you said, good timing and all that. We know that we're about ready to get into like one of the busiest and the biggest bull runs of all bull runs. You know, the largest transformation of wealth in the history of humankind with this activity that we'll see when we get to the euphoria phase. And with that being said, this was the right time. There's probably no better time than, you know, for everybody to get yourself a fresh wallet. You know, maybe you've been using the same wallets that you did throughout the bear market, throughout November and in December when we had a nice little pump and then it's cooled off. This could be the right time for everybody. Just the reminder. You let what happened to me be your reminder. It's time to get a new wallet. Just get a freshie, send everything over there. I'm going to be looking.
Spend $80. It's $80, dude, for a set of 3 Tangent wallet cards.
Yep.
$80.
Yep.
You can't afford not to do that shit.
I'm going to use this as like a way to find a cold storage wallet, a partner or sponsor or whatever it may be. Because look, I've been in the space for a while and I made some fucking mistakes clearly making this happen. But again, it was like, whether I was too I didn't let my security down or whatever it was, just thinking like, oh, it's a podcast. Like, and when I explain the story to you, you'll understand that it wasn't just because I had like some people posting like, bro, like you've been in the space too long to just click a link. I know. By the time I had realized like where I was and like what was going on, like I was in too far and like shit was already making weird noises and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll probably do that. I'll tell my story maybe in a little bit. You know, I've got to do my mugshot in just a few minutes here. I haven't done one yet. You guys know I get to drink coffee all morning. I thought to myself for a while, if I was going to hold off on the mugshots at the beginning of the show, that means I can't drink coffee until 10. That's wild. But I just don't do my mugshot now, which is weird because like it has changed my morning routine, because it was always go downstairs, coffee, bubbles, get to work. But now we're changing things up a little bit. But it's a good thing. It's in a good way. So Tyler, what's up, my brother?
Good morning, Chains.
Yeah.
Good morning, listeners in the crowd down there. Just want to remind everybody, I'm Tyler from Crypto Fight Club, and don't break the first rule of J Chain Space. Like, retweet, throw some comments down there. Yeah. Big shout out to the doctor also. What he said was stupid. If you know what I'm saying, if you know, you know. Yeah. No, sorry to hear about that, man. It was all over my Telegram after your post last night and stuff like that. Marla was talking about, oh, you see what happened to Chains and all that stuff. So yeah, sorry to hear about that, man. I had, you know what really sucks actually for, this reaches so many different like areas and people and projects and everything, because something as simple as like the fight that we host, right? So that's a link that you have to click on, and then like this bullshit ruins it for everybody. It's like, maybe we won't have as many people participate in the fights because you actually have to click a link. It's bullshit. It pisses me the hell off.
There's
Dude,
ways
crypto.
in which...
Think about.
Oh, go ahead.
This'll. It's sorry, man. This is gonna scare people. Like, this is not a time when we need people to be like afraid to dip their toes into crypto.
Right.
And this is the sort of shit that like makes you scared to touch it for the rest of your life.
No, it's just but that's why it's important. That's why like
for normies, just like not for me and you, right?
Well, see,
but like for the average person,
the typical like, I got hacked, I need money, like woe is me shit. Like, no, listen, I made some mistakes. Let's talk about it. Let's clear it up so that people don't make this mistake. And look, it's not the having this space is one thing, but this show is live streamed as well. And so that means there's other people that get to consume it. That means I get to clip it. That means there's going to be other moments that will go on and see more eyes, and then maybe bring people back to this whole show so that they can go ahead and watch this. And we know that the clips usually go to someone outside of your audience. So now we can really start. And I feel like more people got to do this, right? That's why if you have a hack or a scam story, today would be great, because then it's all part of that, that clip moments that they live on a little bit farther. They go and touch more people and eyes and bring them back to the root that can maybe build a better understanding of what's happening. And then look, I mean, there's plenty of creators that, and I don't know how far this goes, because now that I realized like how this whole thing works and how they turn off your DMs and they DM people and then they delete it. Like that, it's actually been going on for a little bit longer than I thought, because there have been mutuals now for at least a month or more that for whatever reason, I didn't even know why I couldn't DM them because we were mutuals. But, this thing's been going around for a little bit. So, it's all just about educating. And for me, it's staying positive. I don't allow the negative thoughts to take over, irregardless of the situation. Again, I got a tattoo on my body that says always half full, because if you just remain optimistic and remain positive, sometimes you can shift the entire course of the way things are going, right? And so I refuse to be negative. I refuse to be pessimistic. I refuse to let this defeat me, because if you let those negative thoughts take over, they win most of the time, and you spend too much time thinking in the darkness. And I'm just way too positive a guy for that. So anyway, it's all about the educational aspect of this and how we can help people not make the same mistake. It's because it's so stupid, because the message comes from someone or it comes from the actual account, but they've been hijacked and they don't even know it. So let's see. Let's go, Mike, Modern Canadian, then we'll swing it on over to Wild Bill, and then Dr. Eldon. What's up?
Yeah, so it's kind of like the problem too is like, you'll talk about security and it's kind of like the boring thing, right? Like, I made a video on all the different types of crypto security, and I break down every single risk involved with each of them so people have an idea. No views. Then I'll post a couple charts saying, hey, it looks like Arena token's gonna pop off, and boom, 1,500 views. that's kind of the problem here. Like, I know, like, I know it's boring. I know it could be dry, but like, it's so like important, like the necessity.
Right.
After you give your story and the breakdown, I'll lay down some like tips that I personally do, and maybe that can help some other people, or maybe you guys are already doing it. But yeah, security needs to be talked about more because, like Carrie said, I was like, our minds are going the same way. I'm like, this is what like people say, like, oh, I'm scared to get into crypto because this kind of stuff, right? Like,
Or they say
I
it's not
know
going to
when I
happen
hear
to
like,
me. Or they're just like, that's not going to happen to me. That's how I've kind of like, unfortunately, for many years in my life here in crypto, was like, I know better. Like, I don't even click links from my mom. Like, I know better. Sometimes, man, that's that one fuck up. That one time you fuck up.
absolutely, and I'm a firm believer of like anything that can happen will happen. So, and yeah, you got to be good to. And just to be honest, like I'm the same way. Like I'm like sometimes I'll be a little bit lazy in my security, and like you hear stories like this, I was like, oh man, I gotta tighten up my security, right? Like,
Just a gentle reminder, and that's why we're keeping it positive. We're keeping it light. It's not doom and gloom. We got ways to fix all this. Obviously, guys, I've been in the space long enough. I know some people. I do, I asked for some help. I wasn't asking for a handout. I was asking for some help. If you know any BD, if you know any marketing roles, if you know any projects looking for people, I'm your fucking guy. I know how to do all that shit. Also, I create media and sponsor content. So I'm looking for a lot of different things, obviously, because I can do a lot of different things. But again, it's all about creating that opportunity because look, we can take this moment and we can spin it into a positive because other people have to learn from my mistake. And I'm okay with that. Like, you, as the pioneer in a space, you take arrows in your back. It's just how it works. That's how this works. And so we're okay as long as we can find ways to pick ourselves back up and make it like back. That's the goal, right? And so that's what we're doing here. Let's see. I think it was Wild Bill. You were up next, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, buddy. How
What's
you
up,
doing?
brother?
So, yeah, I wanted to come up just because this is obviously type of scam. Well, not new. It's actually old, but
Right.
What it is I've noticed is that they're focusing on content creators in the ecosystem. So if you are a content creator, be aware this scam is very savvy. These guys really talk up the heartstrings of the content creator in the way in which you feel secure enough to be able to interact with the group. But the essentials are they are going to try to pull you into Telegram. They will then start to talk about Teams meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll say, well, we can't get it working. And we need to use this application to do a meeting call or whatever it is. And as soon as you, you're opening up the floodgate to your device, basically.
You ain't lying about that, my brother.
And tell you, Jay, that Paulie just went through this, I think about 6 months ago. And it's mostly because he got notoriety for his spaces. And here you are in almost exactly the same boat, and clearly somebody else went down the exact same rabbit hole as my bro Paulie, from what I just heard. So yeah, it's really good that we're outside in public talking about this because that's what they don't want. They want everybody to be ashamed of what happens so that they can continue to try to do this with other people.
Yep.
And so I'm really proud of you for being up here and speaking and I just love to I'm not going to be defeated by this. We're all family here and we all know who we are, and that's why spaces work so well, is because we can actually define who we're speaking with because we can hear them, and that's a little bit of added security in the fact that we know who we're speaking with, at least. But as soon as you move into another space, that's when it starts to get really difficult, right? And a lot of this is just, for Paulie, he was excited. Somebody wanted to interview him about VChain. Like, these guys do their due diligence in these scams. They really know what to say. They know they know where you're at, and they're going to say everything that makes sense. And your alarm bells aren't going to initially get triggered. But yeah, this comes back right back down to the
And
don't
I
click the
wonder,
link.
I wonder with first off, Bill, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the kind words and coming up here and talking about all this stuff. I feel like, as we get deeper into AI, like some of these things may get more sophisticated. They may be able to know just a little bit more about you, because a scammer's not going to know shit, but AI, they can find that out real quick. That's kind of how I look
Yeah,
at it.
well, and one of the things that I've actually heard about recently is we may actually get to a point here now where you won't even see the link. You won't even need to click a link. They're talking about using, I mean, this is so savvy, but essentially what they're figuring out is that they can use like inside of like an email that basically uses white space. So you won't even see any writing.
Oh, that's brutal.
It literally is injecting code in as soon as you open your email. So be on your toes, people. It's about to get interesting right now.
I mean, hopefully,
AI may be a little more. I don't know, man. There's ways of negotiating with AI to get it to do things that shouldn't happen. So just be on your toes, people.
absolutely. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here, my guy. Let's go Migtoshi and then to Carrie. What's up, Migtoshi? What's up, Miggy?
Yo, what's up, bro? Good morning. How are you?
GM. We're good, man. We're this is it. At the end of the day, like, the situation sucks, but this is what we can do out of it. We gotta do our best to make this a positive for everybody so that people understand. But I'm all right, dude. At the end of the day, look, I'll be fine.
No, I'm glad you had this. I saw it, the topic, and then I heard you talking about the things. And very recently, I had a bit of an encounter myself, so I figured it would be a good opportunity to hop up and partake in this.
Oh, yeah, man,
But yeah, I'm Mickey. Yeah, no, appreciate you, man. Mickey Crypto here, DGen from 2011. Been in the space for a little bit now. Being scammed and all these things, because I personally am a very cautious person. I don't even like to gamble. So when it comes to like, suspicious things, I tend to, heed caution. But very recently, I was, trying to get caught up in my Telegram because I've been behind in just a bunch of messages and conversations. And so as I was going through, I saw, a profile of somebody that I knew, somebody that I had talked to, interacted with, many times on Telegram, met them in person, knew them, whatever, and saw that they had messaged me like a while back saying, hey, I want to catch up. It's been a while since we talked. Let's chat soon. And so they dropped their Calendly link. And so, I'm like I said, I'm going through her messages and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me reach out to her. Let me catch up. There's some things that I've got going on that might be cool to connect with, and they might have something that we could work together with. And so, I sent her a message. I'm like, hey, got on schedule, to do this call, and let's chat. Well, the first call I missed because I got the timing wrong. So I just completely missed the call. And so, rescheduled, whatever, everything's kosher, nothing suspicious, nothing crazy. Rescheduled for the next morning, and then, messaged her, let her know, no response, which was fine. And so the next day when I got to set up for the call, I noticed that there was no link in the email from the Calendly. For those who are not familiar, when you sign up for a calendar link like Calendly, usually they'll send you an email which will give you the invite to the call, which through Google Meets or Zoom or however they set it up, you'll receive it and you'll just be able to join the call whenever it happens. So didn't have the link, so I get the Telegram because I'm like running late already. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't have the link. I'm sorry. I'm here. Please, don't think I ignored you. So they're like, okay, no, that's fine. And then she started asking me these weird questions like, hey, what's your role? What's your thing? Which wasn't too weird, I'm like, okay, whatever. I answered, told her what I'm doing right now, told her my thing is going on. And then she sent me a Zoom link, which was normal because the Zoom link wasn't in the email. So I get this Zoom link, and thank God my computer had my back. I clicked the link and my computer pulled up, was like, hey, red flag, this is kind of suspicious. And as soon as I saw that, even though I knew her, even though we met, even though all this stuff, that immediately made me pause. And I was like, it's like, do you want to continue? I'm like, you know what? Let me backtrack. So I went to my Zoom, opened it up, entered in the meeting number ID, which was found in the link. And then it pulled up, it prompted me for a passcode. So I was like, okay, that's pretty normal. I guess, things are looking pretty kosher. So I messaged her and I'm like, hey, I need a passcode to get into the meet. And then they messaged me. It was like, oh, did the link not work? And I was like, oh, I'm just having some issues for whatever reason. It wants me to put in a passcode. And so they're like, they, said it again. Oh, well, you should just be able to click the link. And I'm like, oh, whatever. It's just send me the passcode. I can log in. Then that's when things started getting real extra weird, because they're like, oh, well, if you run this SDK or whatever, you should be able to open up the Zoom, no problem, blah, blah, blah. And that's why I was like, all right, this is bullshit. They're trying to hack my shit. I was like, you don't need no SDK to run Zoom, bro. Like, and why are you so adamant? And then finally the last straw was, I was already suspicious. So I went on Google. You can look up, they have websites where they have, they'll scan links for phishing, potential. So you just look up, phishing link scanner, whatever. So I did that. I put in the link and yeah, it popped up, kind of suspicious. And so I was like, hey, you know what? I'm having an issue. Can't get into the Zoom. For some reason, wants the passcode. How about I send you a link? So I created a Google Meet link, sent it to her. We were talking. As soon as I sent that Google link meet, the conversation got deleted and was erased and they disappeared.
Nice.
And then, yeah, so fucking hilarious. And then to find out, because I was like, man, that was really weird. I knew Michelle, I knew we were cool. I wonder what happened. This bitch just tried to scam me. And so I went to this other chat group that I know she runs, and I found her profile. And in the profile bio, it says, my old profile was hacked.
Oh.
And so that right there, full picture. Yep. Totally almost got scammed. That's when I knew. And I was like, thank God, my flags went up, my little thing, my ears were ringing. And so I was like, you know what, always take caution. And so for the moral of that story is that, even if you know the people that you're talking to, if you have any kind of defenses on your computer or anything like that, or just any inkling that it might not be right, use a phishing link scanner. It's free on Google. You can just Google it, type in phishing link scanner. It'll send you various sites. You just put in the link and then it'll scan it and tell you whether it seems suspicious. Now, I did it on 3 of them. 2 of them said it was suspicious. 1 of them said that it was no problem. And so that's, 2 out of the 3 confirmed for me that it was an issue. And so that's when I found the profile, talked to her, and I was like, dude, you almost scammed me. And, we had a big laugh about it later. But yeah, very recently, it happened like 4 days ago.
Damn, dude. Well, I'm glad you had the wherewithal there at the end to pull that the cord on all of the things. Congratulations. And that's the thing. They're sophisticated. It's not just because most of the time, if they don't get what they want, like in 2 seconds, they're gone, right? These fuckers will go back and forth for a little bit. Carrie, Miggy, I appreciate you telling that story, man. That's extremely helpful. And the point of today is for people to understand just kind of how elaborate these little schemes and scams are turning into. Carrie, go for it, brother.
Yeah, just Mintoshi, that's a hell of a story, dude. I'm glad you are extra cautious. But I just posted up to the JTron there a little device called a YubiKey, and I'm not sure how many people are aware of what it is. It's just they used to be a USB only key drive that you would have to insert into your phone or computer in order to do 2FA. But now they have like 5G or not 5G, NFA ones. NFC ones, sorry. So you can just tap it onto your phone. You can put it on your keychain, and anytime that you have to enter a 2FA, you can just tap a keychain to your phone, and that way it's that extra layer of hardware that is, harder for the hackers to get through. I know that won't help you once you're pulled into a scam like like the ones that we almost were. But it may have helped prevent your socials from being hacked in the first place, which is probably how they, you know what I mean? So every little step, every little piece of hardware that I can get my hands on, and every little step that I can take to secure my firewall and my all my internet at home is key now. And I only lost like $200. Like, I was lucky. It was early in my venture, and I only got like taken for a couple hundo, but it hurt. Like it was like I felt like I was just like, you know, and I can only imagine that happens with like, you know, 10x that kind of money, and you're like, oh, it just feels like you've been, you know, and that's the headshot. And so, yeah, so for $60, just take a look at the top of the screen, and you can get one of these things on Amazon. It takes a lot of the worry and the pain in the ass out of the 2FA. Because let's be honest, 2FA is a pain in the arse. So when you got the little YubiKey, just tap it on the back of your phone. It fucking ding verifies you, and you're into your app.
Boom. Boom. You know, like it's just the little things you can do. And like, you know, for whatever reason, you know, some people don't want to spend the money. And like you said, that's $55. I know you can get other things for 100, couple hundred, whatever it may be. But depending on like the level that you're playing in this crypto game, I mean, it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. All right. Really quick before we go any farther, I wanted to do this around 10:30, so this is a great time to do this, guys. Make sure you smash the like button if you are watching on YouTube. If you are watching on X, hit the heart, post the video, repost it out, tag some friends, do all that stuff. I'm gonna do my morning mug shot really quick here live. The other day I posted something where I want people are always looking for free crypto. I said, you want free crypto? And everybody went berserk for it. And so this is the kind of stuff you got to do, right? So here you go. I am just going to take a selfie of me and my coffee, and I'm going to post that to the Mugshot app because look, I'm drinking out of a reusable mug. It is sustainable. I take this thing everywhere with me, and you can go and do this yourself. There you go. I just earned a better token by drinking out of a sustainable coffee mug. You can do it if you drink coffee or tea, and you can do it every 4 hours, up to 14 times a week. Earn yourself some better token. That is the thing to do. So there you go. Everybody wants to learn how to earn free crypto. That's one thing you can do right there. We do this every morning on the show now. That is the mugshot moment. Let's go.
Will you post the link or tag the profile in the comments?
Yes. Yes, I will do that. I will put a post and say, y'all just witnessed the mug. And I'm not gonna do like I'm not doing like a ref link on this one or anything. I know they have one, but there you go. You guys can just get in. The barrier to entry is so easy. This past weekend I was in Chicago hanging out with my mother. She is now mug shotting. My mom is. You guys have no excuse if you're not. If you're into crypto and you drink coffee or tea every morning, you got no excuse. I'm sorry.
It's so cool, dude, that your mother and your little daughter are both actually not just participating in something that like it helps the world. They're actually participating in on-chain transactions in DeFi.
Thank you.
They have their own wallets.
Yep.
Like that is as if you didn't, you know, like if job well done, dude. Like once again, like if that's not onboarding, I don't know what it is. They're advanced. It took me 2 years to do my first DeFi transaction.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And your daughter's like,
She's 3.5. She's 3.5.
3.5
transactions. So, I will
awesome.
tell you, thankfully, thank God, thank gosh, to whatever, my VeChain wallet, my VWorld. That's what you need to get is the VWorld wallet, in order to, you know, participate in the VBetterDAO ecosystem stuff. Totally, like I don't have a gazillion dollars in VeChain by any means. I actually spent a lot in the in the bear run several years ago. I spent the bulk of my VeChain on NFTs. And so I've got a lot of good memories, good visual memories. They might not be worth a lot, but a lot of good visual memories. And it's like I just use this as the as kind of getting into the VBetterDAO ecosystem and doing that. I got to find ways to, you know, to do more and to bring more, you know, of this stuff to what's going on in the real world, whether it's not only just mugshot or cleanify. You know, at some point, you know, hopefully we'll get a Tesla and we can do the EV earn. I know Mike does that. It's just so cool, this whole ecosystem. So all right, let's shift gears. Yeah, well, I'll tell you guys a little story and then we'll go from there. So this is how it all went down. July 8th, I got a DM from King of Hearts. Or King of Heart. is his name. NFTs. He's a like music producer guy in the space. He's one of the Doodles crew. He's friends. You know, we've been on stages, we've been on the shows, all that stuff together. So when the message came from his account, I didn't question it. The only thing that I questioned was the fact that I couldn't respond to him via DM, even though we were mutuals. And this was the first experience I had with this. I had noticed recently that a lot of my DMs with mutuals said at the bottom, you can no longer direct message with this person. And I thought it was really strange. And even like I would go into posts of other people's accounts and say, hey, I can't DM you for whatever reason, you know, but let's chat or whatever. And so, you know, it was just one of those situations where I had already noticed that I couldn't DM with particular people, that we were mutuals. And so, you know, the whole message was to send me to his Telegram, which the Telegram matched his X account at perfectly. King of Heart NFTs. Now, I just flash forward. Yesterday, I was on a phone call with him and Scott Dabatola. We actually talked about all this stuff. And so his account was hacked. He was vocal about it about a month ago. So this happened like right around the time I got the message. So, you know, him and I talked. There's no issue or anything because, listen, it's just a hack. It was very sophisticated because of how it works. So I got the message from him and I responded to that Telegram saying, hey, here's a screenshot. For whatever reason, I can't DM you back, but I'm down to do the show. And again, this went back and forth for several weeks. And, you know, come to the show time. And we even recorded the show. But so how the sophistication of this happens behind the scenes is when your account gets hacked, they send out the DMs. They disable DM between, you know, the two parties, and then they delete the message. So you as the account holder, because you still have access to your own account, they just like get into it. They delete those DMs so you don't even know that they're there. Now, however, the morning that I got hacked, I was back and forth between messages and popping into my DMs. So I would see like a message just go out and then it would get deleted. So like we were both in there at the same time. I think I got a screenshot of that. And so that's how, you know, you as an account holder, you have no idea what is going on because they are sending out messages and deleting them and deactivating DMs. So you have no way to even message the person back if you knew. And so, all right, so let's bring this to the day of recording. I send them, you know, the link they send me the reminder that has the link in it. And it's for Microsoft Teams. And I questioned that. Like, I was just like, you know, do you want to do this on Google Meet or a StreamYard? I had actually offered my StreamYard because I like to record things there so that I can like chop it up into smaller clips and all that stuff. But they said, no, they had to do it here. And so I was like, all right, well, cool. So I clicked the online link and I'm sitting there in the meeting, ready to do the show. And they tell me the connection is not good enough that I need to get the app. And I said, I don't have the app. I don't even know if I can get the app for my Mac. And they said, well, in the invite is the link for it. And I said, oh, all right. Well, I'm already in the video with them and they're explaining how they're the producers of the show and all this stuff. And so I was like, all right, well, I suppose, okay. I've heard of Microsoft Teams before. We never used it in crypto, but that doesn't mean that, you know, this company or these people, they've got, you know, a team of producers, which should be good to go. So I download the app and then install it. And then they're coaching me through what to turn on so that I can screen share and, you know, so that we can see, you know, what I'm looking at. So we can look at the websites, my social media accounts and all that stuff and kind of go through and talk about what I do. And then this was again, after like a 45-minute interview that again, you know, like what Wild Bill was saying before, they say all the right things to get you to come to this podcast. They knew all the things about like what I was building with W3BC Media, me as a content creator and all that stuff. I was like, well, shit, like you obviously know, you did your due diligence about me. Let's go. This should be fun. And again, so we do the whole thing, and then, you know, we get to the end of the interview, and they're like, all right, well, it's time to, you know, do the thumbnail. I was like, all right, I'm no stranger to that. I know you got to get a still image. And so I was cool, you know, go ahead and take it. They're like, well, we got this new technology where, you know, you stare at the camera for 30 seconds. We 3D model it with AI so that, you know, it's a cooler thing. And I thought that's a little weird, like a 3D character on the thumbnail. Like, but I'll go with it. It sounds pretty cool. All right, so I do, straight at the camera for 30 seconds, and then I've got to actually turn my camera or turn my body away from the camera so they get the back of my head. And this is where I was like, man, this is strange, but okay, this is kind of funny. I do that. I'm looking. My computer, something happened where it timed out, and they kind of like freaked out. They're like, whoa, 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 your computer just timed out. And I was like, oh, that's weird. So I wiggle the mouse, and they're like, oh, you still have like 15 seconds. So I turned my head. But all throughout all of this, like I heard a few bings and bongs and all that stuff coming from my computer. And at that moment, I was just like, man, what have I actually done here? What did I really do? I know that, and I was thinking in my head while I was turned away, I was like, man, that was a weird noise. That almost sounded like something in the garbage. I didn't think about it again because obviously you got back into the thing. But as soon as like the timer was over and I turned over, they're like, all right, cool. Thanks for your time. We'll see you later. And they hung up, and I was like, oh, okay, well, all right. That's wild. And then things, obviously, that was Thursday afternoon last week. Friday morning, I woke up to about 1,000 messages and text messages from people saying my accountant got hacked. And so when I looked at and this is where kind of like the bad parts of it all get. So yesterday, when I was looking in the trash bin of my computer, I had seen there was like 4 recovered files. What recovered files 1, 2, and 3 were the names of them. And I started opening. I'm like, well, this is weird. And it was screenshots of every single file on my computer. And unfortunately, and this is where like I have to fucking own this as the crypto guy, I should know. But sometimes out of convenience, you do some things that make things a little bit easier for yourself. And so like, again, I had been moving a crypto lately to live off of because that's what I had to do. And so I had seed phrases on my desktop. I had W9, I told you guys in the tweet, tax information, bank information, all that stuff. I had literally had my entire fucking financial life on the desktop of my computer. And if you looked at those screenshots, as clear as day, man, I thought, like there's no way you could do that. But if you opened up those things, man, even those thumbnails, they open up to like 4K 1080 images or whatever. So they could see social security numbers, bank account routing numbers, seed phrases, all that shit. And so again, I have to own that as my mistake in this whole thing. One of many mistakes. Two, I gave access to my computer for some fucking unknown reason on some stupid platform that I've never used in crypto after all this time. However, you've always got to react and adapt, and maybe there's some new functionality there that's out of control that, if they would say like, it's part of Teams where you get this AI modeling of your guests. I was like, well, fuck, I want to do this. So again, you get vulnerable and you make some mistakes. And at the end of the day, that's what happened. Now it happened between July 8th and I think yesterday was kind of the culmination of it all for me when I realized the magnitude of it, the extent of it. Now, obviously got to do like the whole life lock or life alert. The life alert's like falling. I can't get up, I think. But so that's my mission now is, we got to mitigate any other damage, but bank account were compromised, my main crypto wallet. Unfortunately, that was not the one that I wanted to get touched. That was kind of what we were using for the foreseeable future. But at the end of the day, like I told you guys before, I'm an eternal optimist. I will find a way to make this spin it from a positive into how we, take care of things moving forward. Not only from an operational side, but we'll get back to where we were. I know it sucks. It sucks for me. Sucks for all of us. Sucks for the fam. But these are the moments that they define us. They make us who we are. And again, I'm down, not out, and we're gonna come back bigger than better than ever. Mike, my guy, what you got?
Yeah, man. So you know what? What your story explaining it right now, like it's exactly what was happening to me. I didn't end up getting to the call because I had a bad taste in my mouth from like the whole proceedings up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been the same thing. It was literally a Teams call. They wanted to give me a link. They wanted me to use their link, their app. And I'm like, that's so weird. I'm like, why would you if you want to, I could just send you the recording after. Like, why do you care? Like what app we use, right? Discord or whatever. Right. So let me give some tips in my mental process, especially after that situation. Because I've been wallet drained before. But the thing is, I have a certain system that I use. So for one, take control of the situation. If you're a content creator and you're going to make a video, you create the link. And if they cannot
like if they cannot have that, or like obviously they're not respecting your security, and if they don't want to use your link, then what I suggest is have a separate computer. So like my computer that I do my content from, my live streams, has not touched crypto. It is just there. If they want to hack it, go by all means. You can take my clips from previous videos and maybe give me some extra views. But like that's all that's there. So like I just eliminate, like for me, I'm not very smart. So like I'm like, let me just make it simple and eliminate any problems. Like how can I do something where it's gonna eliminate every problem? And it's like, okay, so have a separate computer for your crypto stuff, like a different laptop or whatever. And it only, when you want to make a transaction, then you can just like maybe connect to the internet. But I keep my personal, because I have my daughter's computer, my wife's computer, so I have other computers I can use and a laptop. So like that's what I do. My content creation from one main computer. And I know this is the rule 101 is obviously cold storage, and then you just move your stuff to hot wallets when you need to spend it or whatever. But like I almost got to the same thing where literally as you're explaining, like, oh my god, this is almost word for word of what they were telling me.
Yep.
I was like, holy shit. And you know what? It's I'm so glad that you're doing a space like this, because I've heard from Teams hacks from some people in the gaming space, and if it wasn't for them sharing their story, I wouldn't have clicked into my head when I came across a similar situation. So like, just imagine, like, unfortunately, you lost what you lost, but imagine how many people you might just save in the future.
That's
so
and that's and thank you, man. And I'm glad that you were able to mitigate those risks. And again, these stories and these lessons, as shitty as they are, and when you got to go through it, the most important thing is that if one other person decides not to pursue the podcast with this random message that you can't DM them back and you got to go to this Telegram, if you get that, it's bullshit. Just don't fall for it. Like, I'm here to tell you, don't fall for that. And you're hearing some other people tell very similar stories. I hear people saying that it's Zoom, that it's WeChat, that it's obviously I was Microsoft Teams. It's all these different platforms that they're using. It's sophisticated, but I feel like the scam is going to be how they message you and how you're supposed to message them back. And at the end of the day, like what Mike said right there, I think that's the thing that I'm going to do moving forward. If somebody ever invites me into a show, I'm going to offer my link and kind of just see where it happens. And obviously there's credible people, but again, what you don't know is if their account gets hijacked, is that link compromised for you to even collaborate with people? It's a whole different beast, man. This industry is growing up, and so are the scammers. Tyler, what's up, my brother?
The most important thing.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say the most important thing is security. It's impossible to be 100% secure. The most important thing you can do is have not one single point of failure. Is spread your risk around, have different wallets. So if you do, like if you have someone hot wallets, keep someone cold storage, or have different wallets in different places. Don't have one single point of failure, because then you're obviously you're at more risk that way.
Yep, absolutely. Diversify. Get multiple wallets. Do all. You're supposed to be doing those things anyway. Again, I got caught in a shitty situation because my situation was I was changing some things and doing things differently than I normally do. So, but I will still be looking for a cold storage wallet partner. So if you guys know one, get at me, dog, and I'll reach out to what was that one that you put up there, BitKey? Gary?
Dude, I'll send you my contact for Ella Pill Grace. I met her at the Consensus.
All right. We'll go after them all. Tyler, what's up, brother?
Hey, I wanted to say I haven't really gotten a chance to get with you since all this happened. But now since I can't DM you,
are our DMs turned off?
Yeah.
See, that's bullshit.
Do you have to go back through and individually turn them on?
Yeah, but it won't. But I can't. Here, let's see. There's no setting for you individually, so I have to probably do this on my computer.
I'm able to DM you.
What's that? Yeah. So we're caught. You and I are caught in that. You're no longer to send direct messages to this person, even though we're mutual. So I have to go on my computer because there's no option to do it on your phone. It doesn't look like. It's very easy just to like click your PFP in the DMs, and there's a setting thing, and you can just say block DM. So that's on a computer, not on a phone. So that's why it's so fucking difficult to figure out, because it just says you can no longer DM with this person. It's like, well, why? And then when you click learn more, that's why it's so fucking weird, because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it says now they've got this new creator setting where if you have to go on and actually put it to people can DM me. So I just thought, wow, this fucker hasn't gone in and updated settings yet. Okay, I get it. Whatever. But that's how crazy it is that you can't even change it on your phone. You have to do it from your computer.
Yeah. How's your X account and all that stuff? Is any of that compromised, or
that morning I completely reset the password, solely, logged out of all the devices that I was logged into, reset the password, and I have not seen any suspicious activity. I did get, when I logged in and changed my password, they did tell me that there was suspicious activity. So I'm sure that hopefully mitigated anything additional from that. So I have not seen any weird messages go out. I've not been told that I'm getting hacked still. So that's a good thing.
okay? Yeah, just gotta figure out how to get a hold of you outside of the DMs until that gets fixed. Because
as soon as this show is over, I'll go on my computer and do it.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. I might have to get you. Do I have to get you reloaded up with some tokens for the giveaways?
We may have like one or two left, but I'll get those DMs turned. I'll get them turned on, and then we'll chit chat. But that means there will be a giveaway this Friday Pizza Day. It's a pizza party and a free crypto giveaway. Like I tell you, you want to find some free crypto in this whole ecosystem? Come talk to us in the morning. We'll show you every single day how you guys can find some free crypto. And so we're going to be giving away on Fridays. We've been doing it thanks to our friends at the Crypto Fight Club. So last week it was what's up, dog? And then before that it was the WGA. Yep. We gave it our all. So all right, I see Pretty Dirty trying to come back up here. Had a little difficulty going through the space-time continuum before. What's up, Pretty Dirty?
Hey, how's it going, big dog?
Living the dream. Sometimes it's a nightmare, but we're always living the dream.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to come up. I was listening, and so I wanted to share a couple of my experiences so that other people could learn as well.
Hell yeah! It's good to hear from you. So, I know who this is now.
Yeah. You know who it is. You know who this is. So I've been in the space since 21. Had never gotten hacked. Had never had my wallet compromised. Got cocky, and so in September of last year, I was still working for one of my big clients, but they had pushed me down to part-time, so I wasn't making as much money as I normally did. So I signed up for like Web3 careers, and I was just trying to find some more Web3 marketing jobs. And then I got hit up by a bunch of people. Some of them went well, whatever. And this other one looked so legit. Like I checked out their X account. They had like 90,000 followers, and the job listing was also posted on their X account. Like it seemed all legit. Got connected in Telegram, and then they asked me to join a Zoom link. And then when I joined the Zoom link, it just automatically downloaded some stuff on my computer, got into my MetaMask, and man, so it didn't have everything. It says I have a couple different wallets. So I had about $4,000 in the LP of a coin at a 50K market cap. That's now at a 500K market cap. So I would have 10x, and I was in the liquidity pool. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And so it was just a masked Zoom link, and I saw it right away, tried to uninstall right away, and they just had it instantly. It was crazy. It was pretty rough. So that was my experience. So be careful with Web3 careers, and anytime anyone sends you a Zoom link, be super careful.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because you think and that's the worst thing about it is there are so many people looking for work. We know that a lot of people, whether you're a creator, whether you're creative, whether you're just, wanting to get a job here because it's an emerging market and industry, is that it's like, oh man, like you can't even do a job interview, more or less a podcast interview with someone you thought's credible, but even trying to find a fucking job is hard. And at some point, we definitely gotta find some better ways or some communication tools that work for Web3 specifically, so that you can try to find a job without getting your fucking wallet smoked. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's brutal because that's when you're at your most vulnerable. Like, I was barely able to pay my rent at that time, and I was like actively trying to put my life in a better place. And that's when they get you. It's like so fucking weak.
Yeah. And I kind of in that same situation, right? Like, I will collaborate with anybody because that's where I'm at right now in my career, is that like I need to grow, and I need to grow for very strategic and specific reasons. And so, my collaboration door was wide open. And so I just said, let's fucking go with it. And obviously took things way too far, clicking links and giving access and all that stuff. But it was one of those moments where it was a vulnerable moment because I thought that it was part of what I should be doing to help myself grow. Fucking obnoxious. Miggy, what's up, brother?
Yo, just wanted to. I'm gonna be popping out here in just a second. My phone's
Appreciate
about
you
to
being
die,
here.
and I'm driving. But I wanted to also bring up and mention before I did hop out, multi-sig. I think this is a great opportunity for people to go back and look into multi-sig, because you could even do that if you have multiple devices. You could be your own multi-sig. So there might be an chance that if somebody does get into your stuff, that with the multi-sig, if you're in control of that, they can't actually get into your stuff, your good stuff. So look up
Reminds me a couple.
multi-sig.
I love that. I love that.
Sorry,
And
I'll
before you go, a
learn it and
couple
love
things.
it.
Two things. One, if you guys are watching the live stream, I got my cowboy hat on with my lucky feather in it. And two, a couple of things. So this had been sent to me a while back. This is I can't wait that I now got this on my display, but this is my Pizza Dow pizza character guy. I think his name is Molto Bene. So I've got that. But what I want to show you while you're here is I am looking forward to seeing you at the end of this week on Saturday, Miggy. I will be in Vegas on Saturday for the opening of the club. One of the fun things that we'll be doing is some face-offs for some CFNs. We'll also be talking about the Influencer Awards. So look at this. As you guys can see, if you are watching the live stream, the Web3 Breakfast Club has won the HODL Award before. And obviously, we're going to be going for the HODL Award again this year, or Micro Channel. So I will send a link out in a little bit. I'm going to need you motherfuckers to vote today because, like, I think the voting ends today, and we're trying to win. We're trying to take home another belt. I've got one in my gym outside in my garage, but we keep one right here and probably put another one up here in the trophy room. So link a little bit later, but we're going to need to take that one home for the club.
Hell yeah, bro. You got my vote already. And if y'all want, you could write me in the golden vote. I'm a little salty with Adam. I didn't even get on the list for the event interviewers.
Whoa.
And I've done over 300 interviews this past year and a half. So go ahead and write me in on that golden vote, guys. Love y'all.
Absolutely do that. And hey, you and I think Ken, and anybody else that's there, we're going to be creating a shitload of content next week because I'm in town the 2nd through the 9th. And I think the 6th through the 9th is Rare Evo, right?
Yeah, it's 6th through the 10th. I'll be flying in this Thursday on the 31st.
Okay. I thought you were there for some reason. You're not. You're coming in.
Yeah, I'm not there right now. I'm back home in Oklahoma, but I'll be there for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Boom. Well, I will see you on Saturday, my dude, and then we're gonna kick some ass and create some content next week.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks again for having me on the show and for hosting this. Stay safe out there, y'all.
Stay safe, man. I appreciate you being here, telling your story, doing all that stuff, because again, these are the important stories people got to hear. They got to learn from us homies in the space, and make better decisions than we do. Hash GM, my brother, what's up?
GM, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm late for the most important show, at least in a long time. I'm sorry I had work meetings, but can I ask for a quick recap? Well, hey, I am. That's Canadian way. That's how we do it up here.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to my girl Sandra and my other Canadians, like your co-host. Could I ask for a quick recap? I did see the tweet. I did read it, but just a little quick reset for me personally, and maybe anybody else who might have missed your what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had been asked to appear on a podcast from someone that I knew. It was a mutual follow. It was someone that I think a lot of us know in Web3. However, his account had been compromised, and so the sophistication of this hack is they hijack your account, send out DMs, and then block that person from being able to respond, and then delete it from your history. So if you receive this, you cannot respond to it. All you can do is respond, if you're stupid enough like I was, respond to the telegram that they've given you. And if it's your account that's been hijacked, unless you see this happen in real time, which my account was being hacked so fast on Saturday, or excuse me, Friday morning, I could see some of these messages pop up and then deleted. They will send the message, block the DMs, and then delete it. So if it is your account, you don't even see that this message has been sent out. So that had happened. This happened July 8th is when the message I got and responded to it. And again, this was so sophisticated. We went back and forth for a few weeks, shot the episode last Thursday, through Microsoft Teams, gave them just unfettered access to what believed to be my entire computer, because I found thousands upon thousands of screenshots of just about every file on my computer. And my desktop in particular had tax information, seed phrases, bank account information. The whole, just my financial life was sitting on the desktop of my computer because I thought that was safe. But when I gave them access, they took screenshots of it. And those screenshots opened up in perfect clarity with every digit, number, everything you could imagine. So that's what happened over the course of July for me. So July and beyond is rebuilding. Time to rebuild. And I obviously, Hash, when it comes down to all of this, made several mistakes. Clearly, as an OG in the space, as someone who's been around, had some vulnerability judgment calls that, listen, went the wrong way. For example, my feather is flying out of my hat. For example, clicking a link to download an app from something that came from somebody using a platform that nobody in crypto uses. That was number one mistake. And two, turning my back to the camera while they had access to my computer, because I thought that an AI generated 3D model of myself for a thumbnail was going to be hot shit. There you go. That's the TLDR. Did I lose everybody? Hash. I can't hear anybody. What's going on here? Huh. They didn't like my TLDR. Not sure what's going on here. I'm gonna you guys keep talking. I'm gonna disconnect my Bluetooth and reconnect it really quick. This is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. All right. Can I hear you guys now? No. I have no idea why Spaces have completely lost access to hearing you guys on Space. So, all right. You can only hear me. You can't hear anybody the show on the stream. So, all right. I apologize if you guys can hear me on the Space, but I can't hear you. Mike, I'll let you talk. Go ahead. I'll mute myself for a second. Go ahead and talk. Or I'm going to actually back out and come back in. I forgot I could do that because you're here.
Kenneth Bozak,
Oh,
talking about the club that's opening up. So make sure you guys tune in tonight. It'll be at 9 p.m. Make sure you guys retweet this, the live stream up there, and we'll see you guys tonight for some fun, some charts, and talking some adoption in crypto.
let's go. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Whew. We are back. Thank goodness. All right. Yeah, super excited about that. I'm glad we were able to talk about the show tonight. Definitely, you guys tap into that. I see we got Murtaugh up here, though. We have not got a chance to chat with him. What's up, brother? Maybe he's busy now.
Are you talking to me?
Bitcoin Henry, you're up here too. What's up, G?
Yo, what's up, guys? So this is kind of a noob mistake that I made, I guess. But I was like degenerately trading like $10,000 meme coin trades at a time on Solana, and I was ended up doing really well, but there was a lot of airdrops going on at the time. So I was doing it on Phantom, and I had received a token that was like, it was worth like a few $100s, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna swap this into Solana. And when I did that, every single time I made a meme coin swap, it automatically sent it to another address. So I guess like somehow the token was encrypted on the wallet that I swapped. I guess it's like a mistake, like clicking on an NFT or something in a wallet, that you don't know. But for whatever reason, sometimes when you're trading a meme coin that has such a low market cap, it's really easy for hackers to see all of the different wallets that are interacting with that specific token, and they can send, airdrop looking tokens to your wallet. And if you interact with them, it was literally able to like change the swap. Like, I don't even know how it happened, but like when I went to swap, it would say swapping, and then it would be like successfully swapped. And then I think I may have done that like 5 or 6 times throughout the day. And I started to kind of like, I didn't even realize it happened at first, but I started to notice, I'm like, whoa, my wallet is like, down like $6,000, and my trades have been pretty good, just spot trading. I did like a swap, and then it dropped like a couple more thousand. And that's when I realized that it was just being sent to another address. And what I did was I just created a brand new wallet, and I directly sent like the crypto that I hadn't swapped or whatever tokens I was in directly to that other wallet. But the whole wallet was compromised. And it was kind of funny because you guys were actually live streaming at the time, Chains. You were on OG live stream, and I had sent like a super chat on YouTube, and I was like, Phantom is compromised. Phantom, because I thought, like, I didn't realize that it was me just getting hacked because I had interacted with the token like an idiot. And you were like, it was funny because on the live stream, you were like, okay, well, thank you for letting us know. And then like the next day I was like, oh my God, I'm such a noob. But like funny enough though, I have definitely lost more money leverage trading, horrible, but
Not to laugh.
what I learned,
Not to laugh, but so
what I learned, yeah. All I was going to say is what I learned from that experience was, just like I needed to stop being such a degenerate, and I was able to kind of like dial back into just like investing in actual projects and like get away from the meme space. Cause like once I made a really good meme trade, I would be like, I am unstoppable. And then I would just like diversify into like 5 different, like even more degenerate memes. And I don't know, let's just say I was able to write off a lot of losses on taxes that year. But that's my story, and I appreciate you letting me tell it.
Absolutely, man. Again, the more people that can hear these kind of stories and understand that, there are other things out there, or you've got to be a little bit safer, or maybe stay away from the casino if you don't know what you're doing. All these things are all lessons that we can all take. They can all make us better. I feel like, I've said this a few times, but no matter how shitty the situation is, as long as we can find the ways to learn from it or to make ourselves better, I'll even throw this into the 1% better. Like, I'll be a 1%, fucking more than 1% better of a crypto operational security guy after this. But, using this to make myself better is all I can do. Like, I can't sit and wallow and cry about what happened. I can just say, fuck, man, that sucks. But now I need to, tighten things up, get some new wallets. That's step one, is figure out where can I absolutely be sure that I am squeaky clean, and just create a new wallet and just start over. Like, my VeChain stuff is good. That's fine. I've got one Solana address that is clear. But other than that, like, I got to start over. Like, it sucks to say, but
One simple thing that you can do when you start a new wallet is try to type in that seed phrase on a different device and recover your wallet like to like an iPad or to a different phone, just to be sure. Cause like you can write down a seed phrase, but you never know when you're writing it down, if you miss out, like if you mix up one letter in your seed phrase, just like they were saying earlier, any point of weakness that you have, like if it can happen, it will happen. So if you're just writing down a seed phrase and throwing money in a wallet, if that wallet disappears and you go to recover it, and you type in your seed phrase and it says, cannot recover because you messed up, just going ahead and trying to recover it before you start loading it up with crypto, you can, have that confidence like, oh, you know what? I have recovered this seed phrase. This wallet's good to go. I know I have this password right. And you can just put that behind you and it'll just be something less that could go wrong as you continue, like, you're investing.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming up, telling your story, and it takes the ability for all of us, and again, it's the only thing that we can do, and the only way that I can help people remain vigilant is to just tell these stories and understand that yes, it can happen to you. So I've heard a couple people. Listen, I was one of them. I was fucking cocky. Like, that ain't gonna happen to me. Give me a fucking break. And then I got stupid. And sometimes you let your guard down for a split second. You never know what's going to happen. So let's see. Between Tyler and Mike, who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. No, I just wanted to say that's funny, Henry. Henry down there. That's funny. And it's funny how you say that, like, you've lost more on leverage trading than being hacked. But what you don't know is that that is the losing money on leverage trading. That's just the exchange's 200 IQ way of hacking you. Yeah, it's all the same thing. Facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they are playing 4D chess on those centralized exchanges for sure. Mike.
So I was going to say, when you were talking about airdrops and meme coins, so I had a similar experience back in 2024. It was literally on Christmas Eve, like it was the worst time to get your wallet drained. So I got wallet drained. I was playing big time, and they were doing airdrops, and I had my wallet drained. Every time I would go send, so I would get Bitcoin sent to my MetaMask because that's the only way they let you extract it. And then I would send Ethereum in just to pay for the gas. Again, mitigating my losses here. And I noticed, like, as soon as I send the gas in, it automatically disappears. I was like, what the heck?
Where did it go?
So I send another $20 in, and it's like, oh, gone instantly. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So then I did some research. I'm like, oh man, I got compromised here probably. And then I remembered back in the day, I found some NFT project that somebody was promoting, and there was a free mint, and I minted it. I'm like, that has to be it, because it's the only other thing I use that wallet for. And unfortunately, a couple hours later, the big time, $800 worth of big time was gone. So it costs you nothing to make a new wallet for every different airdrop you do. So just make a new wallet, separate it. Like, I know it's annoying to have a million wallets and things to track, but you never have to use that wallet again. You can use it for the airdrop, get your airdrop, move it into your cold storage or your other wallets, and then just never use that wallet again, right? And that's what I do with my MetaMask. I make a new wallet for, like, any new game I play. I make a new wallet. Every new airdrop I do, I make a new wallet. And I only send what I need to send into the wallet for operational purposes.
There you go. There's another. That's a best practice right there. If you are an airdrop kind of guy or gal, just do a new wallet for it. I know that, like, sometimes it's not the easiest because you got to have all your NFTs or all your other shit in, like, the thing that makes sense. But that's why I just don't fool around with airdrop. And that's probably where I got a little too cocky, because, like, I would even say, like, airdrops. Yeah, you guys know, like, have you ever seen, like, the people that get hacked and scammed, or the people that do all the airdrop shit? Like, that's why I don't do it. See how that worked out. Don't click links, baby. Hash, what's up, brother?
Yeah, well, it can be both. It can be both. And so many more. You're not stupid. You got complacent, is what happened, J Chains. Like you said, you knew. Yeah. And listen, it happens to genuinely all of us, right? Like, this is the human thing. It's never me. It's never gonna happen to me. And then when you get into that mentality, it's like, oh, I've been in the space for 3 years and I've never had, and then all of a sudden you're not looking at things like wallet guard because you're like, wallet guard, that's for newbie. This is not a paid promotion, for the record. I just want to say I haven't talked to Michael in a long time. I know he came into the space that day. I assume it had something to do with this situation. I hope that that's somebody you reached out to. From my personal experience,
Yeah, he had
Michael
like a
Wallet
whole
Guard.
protocol thing. So do you know that he
Yeah.
sold Wallet Guard to MetaMask? Or they
I
acquired him, I
do.
think?
I'm not sure exactly what the partnership or buyout or any of those things look. That's why I specifically talked about Michael, because he, in my experience, is a good actor. Again, I can't speak, too deeply on it, but I've seen him do, again, noble things like that in the past, and he does have a whole protocol. And again, people get complacent, whether it's clicking links or accepting a Teams meeting or downloading software that they're not exactly sure about, or joining a Discord. Like, remember when Discord was a thing? Whew, and it is very sophisticated. I think Mike was saying, like, these are sophisticated, and it's also a process that continues, right? Because how it all started was those messages went out, right? And you were like, hey, like, if you got this message, like, it wasn't from me, but that's exactly how you were contacted. Right. And so the loop continues, and then all they need is one person from those hundreds of new contacts to click on that link to want to do a podcast. And I'm sure it's not just pod. I'm sure they have other means, right? Because you're a particular kind of person who would be interested in doing a podcast,
Right.
whereas some listeners in the space would make, like, they're not going to be interested in, like, oh, like, why would I do that? They're going to maybe be more interested in an airdrop, or
Like
oh,
the
I've
guy
heard about this free mint coming out.
The guy who had gotten hacked, King of Heart, like the message that he had received, like when this happened to him, was about, because he's a music producer, it had to do with like music production and talking about what he does in the space and stuff. So like they know what you do and like what would make you want to be like, shit, yeah, I'll do a podcast with you. Hell yes, you seem to know you seem to know a lot about me. Let's go. This will be, I thought it was going to be, and it was, which is so fucking weird, is that these pieces of shit actually sit through and I feel like such a dumbass because they ask you questions and like some of them were, it's not that I got like, deep in like deep into it or whatever, but like a little bit where, again, I'm a good person. And so like, I give like specific answers to questions. And so now I got some fucking piece of shit with maybe they didn't even record it. I hope they didn't. But some piece of shit somewhere may have a recording of me kind of like giving these like, elegant answers about like how I feel about certain things in the space or whatever. And all of it is just bullshit. It wasn't even like, it was never going to be something, which is insane that they sit there and actually listen to all that. But what are you going to do?
They put the time in. And again, what an awful experience to get asked like real questions and give real answers, and then have that just be all of the ploy, all part of the ploy.
All part of it. Like, damn, I scammed myself.
But from an OpSec standpoint, like, you've dealt with all of this already, or are you still in the process? Like, are you able or interested in talking about like what that fallout looks like on the back end with the bank and anything like that? Again, just from a pure like educational standpoint for people. And if you're not willing, I totally understand.
Yeah. No, I think probably, hopefully in the next coming days, I'll know more about what needs to be done from all the fronts. But right now, I'm pretty well versed at checking things out. So yeah, in the coming days, we'll probably talk more about the back end fallout or what I got to do. Again, like, I've got to go to like a LifeLock or whatever and make sure, because again, documents that had my social security number on there written in big fucking bold letters or numbers, excuse me, right there. So that's something that I got to deal with, is make sure that we mitigate the IRL fallout. The Web3 shit's toast. It's gone. Like, it's not recoverable. That's not even a real thing, because it's gone. And I know, and people are like, oh, Jim, like, you get all those stupid messages like, oh, talk to my guy, he can get it back for you. Like, how? It's not in a centralized exchange. It went through a fucking mixer thing. Like, it's gone. It's toast. Like, and listen, I'm well connected as far as like people that if I need to talk to somebody about it, I will. But the back end stuff, we'll go into it later. Just so you guys know, just the point of today was really just so you don't fall victim to the same thing. Someone is going to say something to you. They're going to either make it like you resonate so well with it, or they just know you so well and they want to collaborate with you. Like, I got to think about my strategy moving forward, because I would cold call DM people saying, hey, let's collaborate, let's get on a show, hit me up. Like, I can't even do that anymore, because like I'm telling people, like, don't fall for that shit. So, I got to find a new way to start trying to collaborate with people, not because I would send them just cold call with a Calendly link. Like, hey, let's do a show. Can't do that anymore. Got to find a whole new process. What's up, Murtaugh? How are you, brother?
Yeah, first of all, fuck, man. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
You deserve so much better, man. And second of all, I heard a G-Man sent me a message that I was somewhat summoned. But yeah, I was listening in earlier and left my computer on, so I was still in the listener panel, I think. But here I am, and yeah, again, man, shit, man.
Hey, well, it sucks, but we can learn lessons from it. And again, if we could save one or two or three or whatever, at least one other person from falling for this right now, because this is what's going around right now, it'll make me feel better knowing that other people aren't going to fall for it. We got to stop it. So just bring as much awareness to how the plan, how they're doing it, how the messages are going. If you get a message from somebody that you know that says you can no longer DM with them, something's up, because that's not a thing. That means it's been deactivated. And so you got to go into your computer and turn it back on.
Yeah, for me personally, I would say luckily Paulie fell for it, but not so lucky also. But yeah, I had some pre-knowledge thanks to Paulie, and I actually got a same kind of podcast invite not too long ago, and I was like, yeah, but I don't trust you, my friend. I'm not going to click that link, and I never replied on it. And today I saw your message passing through, and I was like, shit, man, they are fucking smart, and they are so advanced in this. It's not even hard to fall for the tricks,
Yeah, I mean,
so
just trying to do normal business.
Right, and we are all active faces inside Web3, so it wouldn't be weird if we get the podcast request, and yeah, it all makes sense. And then yeah, they take you where it's where it's easy. And I actually got scammed on my holiday, not for these amounts, but I got scammed out of 30 euros in Spain. I was visiting a neighboring town. I wanted to get some weed, but the town was not what I expected, so I was in a bad mood and I was mad. Suddenly, a guy came to me. He saw me all worked up, of course, and yeah, he offered me weed and yeah, come back in 10 minutes. So I came back in 10 minutes, gave him the money. He gave me a aluminium foil, and while I was walking away, I was unfolding it, and yeah. You already know I bought a very expensive piece of aluminium foil. So yeah,
you didn't even get any oregano?
No, nothing, bro. Just aluminium foil. So I can only imagine the pain of you waking up to all of this, man.
Oh yeah, Friday morning was a pain in the ass, and it definitely, I had a lot of other things on my mind that I wanted to deal with, and obviously the show, and we had the giveaways and all that stuff, but. Man, it definitely was something, to wake up to. Just about everyone that I know had gotten the message, and they're like hundreds of Telegram messages and text messages and all that shit. Be like, bro, you've been hacked, and clear as day it was. So I appreciate you coming and talking about it, man. It's good to hear from you. I am excited. So I am excited to talk to you, especially about what you're doing with VeChain, the Be Better DAO, and all that stuff. So I feel like I had been starting to reach out via DMs to people on X, but I have recently gotten into the Discord. So I'm probably just gonna play it safe and just do the invitations in Discord, where hopefully people understand that it actually is me. Or I don't know. I got to figure this out, because this is absolutely wild how how it changes the game for at least trying to get people to collaborate with me now.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. And I'm always trying, if someone reaches out for an interview or just a talk or a video call, I always try to get them message me on another platform than where they initially reached out, or with the official account behind what they're hiding behind. Or yeah, it's the Wild West out here still, sadly. And
Yeah,
I'm just happy that you're good, man. And yeah, I hope if you need another Bubbles passport, feel free to just send me your address, and I will make sure that you can start using your new wallet, and that the multipliers that you had were in there are in it again. And yeah, let's all work together to cover your Web3 damage.
I appreciate you, brother. That means a lot. I will. I'll definitely hit you up, and definitely can't wait to talk about what you guys are building. Because again, Thursday shows is all about the VeChain ecosystem, VeChain and VBetter, everything that's going on from top to bottom. So that's what Thursdays are about. So if we can get you guys scheduled on a Thursday sometime, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely, man. And yeah, with that, I'm going to drop down to the listener panel again. I was making some meatballs for the family, but yeah,
dude,
I thought
I'm starving.
Come up. Much of love, bro. And yeah, if you need anything VeChain related, you can always reach out to me, man.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate you. It means a lot. Enjoy those meatballs. Definitely. I don't know. Today's Taco Tuesday. We might have to have meatball tacos in our house because that sounds good. You know, you can make a meatball sub. Why can't you make a meatball taco?
Right, 100%, man. And yeah, again, love, man. And talk to you soon.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, man. Hash. What's up, dude?
When you eventually see me as Feather Chains, I hope you understand it's a love, out of love. During your moment where you couldn't hear us, I went and took a screenshot of you turning your back to the camera.
You son of
with
a
your
bitch.
with your. Sorry, I didn't want to be fake, James. I thought that would be too much. In the current.
I freaking love you. Man, one of these days maybe I will learn my lesson and stop turning my back to the camera. But thank you for reminding me. And I like Feather Chains, man. Feather Chains is got a good ring to it.
Yeah, I got the pizza. It took me a second to get it just right, but I got the pizza and the pizza DAO character that they sent you. So
they didn't send it to me. It was not from them.
Oh.
It was from somebody that knows that I needed that. This is, I guess this has been a long time in the making. So they didn't send. It was not the Pizza DAO sending it to me. It was another person who understands my appreciation and love for pizza, and knowing that that is going to be a good home for molto bene. So I got to talk to Snacks. I should probably let him know that is there. Snacks is, I believe, the I don't know if he's a co-founder or the sole founder. I don't know if there was multiples, but of the Pizza DAO. So he's the guy. He's the homie. So I got to check.
He's the guy. Yeah, that's how I think of it. He's the guy from Pizza DAO. Yeah. So Snacks is a good one.
You gotta, everybody knows the guy. You got a guy. I got a guy that does the pizza thing. Not only am I the pizza guy, but I know a guy.
It reminds me of I don't remember if it was at Vegas or Consensus when you had the Pizza Maxi shirt on, but everyone was calling you the Pizza Man.
Oh yeah, I'll probably wear that shirt on Friday. My Bitcoin Pizza Maxi shirt. Yeah, that was Vegas. I don't know, man. They all blend together. I think Vegas though. Yes, I did not have that in Toronto. That was a Vegas shirt. Hell yeah. All right. Well, anybody got anything else to say before we kick out? I didn't even realize, man, we've been going for a little over 90 minutes. Y'all are freaking amazing. But I do, if Mike or Feather Chains or Bitcoin Henry, if either of you guys got anything to say before we head out of here,
we'll just see you tonight at the show. Jason's gonna talk. We're gonna talk more VeChain and the Bitcoin Ben Club, and it's gonna be a good time.
Hell yeah. Look forward to that. Make sure you guys tap in. There is a link up in the Jumbotron, so make sure you go to the first one. Get yourself clued in there, and we'll see you tonight for sure. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you inviting me to that. That's gonna be fun. And Ken, that's gonna be fun to talk to both of you guys. Henry, what's up, dog?
Yo, I just wanted to.
Uh-oh.
Life is food, and life is family, and life is the people and your loved one around you. It's not all about this money that you have in your crypto wallet. Sometimes you got to go outside and enjoy the trees and just like what the natural life is outside of our technology, and just like touch grass. That's all I was gonna say.
Oh, I freaking love that. You know what? I don't think yes, I did take a picture. I did this specifically because look, at the end of the day, that's me, my wife, my daughter, and our dog. That was this morning. First thing we did, we went out for a family walk. We're going to touch grass. We're going to get our fresh air. We're going to stretch our legs. We're going to do the things that we got to do because guess what? Life doesn't stop. We have to keep moving forward. Like I said before, just because my back's up against the wall a little bit more doesn't mean that this is where this ends. This just means that we got to work harder. So we went out there. We touched grass. We got our fresh air. We got to put ourselves in the right mental space, every single one of us. So please, guys, know that, again, I'm down but not out. We're going to figure this out. We're going to push things forward. I do need some support from the community. So if you know any projects looking for some people, whether it's BD, marketing, if you know some sponsored content from KO, Deal Flow, whatever it is, hit me up. I do on that post have my email address. That's how I would recommend everybody shoot me an email right now, jchains@web3breakfast.com. That would probably be the smartest thing. And then, we can take things from there as far as where to communicate. But other than that, guys, it's all about making yourself better. And this is obviously, in the grand scheme of things, took a couple steps back, but it's almost like the market, right? When the market pumps, we got to bring it back and sometimes maybe reevaluate where we are. And so that's ultimately where I'm at in this journey that is crypto, that is content creation, that is life, really, to be honest with you. And so I took a couple steps back over the last several days, but now I'm ready to charge forward. And I look forward to you guys charging forward with me. I know we got a solid community here. We got some amazing people. I love you all. Thank you to everybody who stopped by and chatted. You stopped by and you listened. You watched on the live stream. Make sure you smash it. We had a huge viewership on the live stream today. So shout out to all you guys. Make sure you smash that like button on your way out of here. We will see you tonight for the mass adoption pod. So check that out. There is a link up in the Jumbotron. I'll post something out there a little bit later so that you guys can check that out with Mike the Modern Canadian and Ken Bozak, the homies. We're going to talk all sorts of fun stuff. So for now, that is it, guys. This show is done, but we'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Have a good night.